Hi Flosstube, my name's Stephanie and welcome to Flosstube number 5 for me. So this channel is Steph.Xstitch and it is a cross-stitch channel where I show you all my projects. So I do a mixture of full coverage and non-full coverage cross-stitch. I pretty much use Ada, about 18 is probably about the highest I go, so 14, 16 or 18. I haven't really ventured into anything other than that so far. So I just want to say thank you for coming to spend some time with me if you're returning, and if you're new then thank you for coming and spending time with me. So I would really love it if you would consider subscribing. I'm going to be posting a video every around about 3 to 4 weeks. So this is just my regular progress update video, and then there'll be a couple of Flosstube extras mixed in on various different things. So since I last made my video, I have worked on 11 projects. I have one finished to share, and I also have a new start, so the whip count has not budged anywhere. I do have quite a few whips that I didn't get around to, as that always seems to be the case. So there is going to be a few different projects. I think there's one that I may not have shared before. I think I just forgot to add that into my original whip parade. So I am gonna I'm gonna get into that. So I'll do my finish first. So this one, if you have watched along with my other videos, you will know that this one has been around for a while. I'd probably say I started this at least 5 years ago. I'm not sure why I never got around to finishing it, because it's just such a small design, but anyway, it is finally finished and it's fully finished. So I've just done like a paper craft. I don't know why I did that, I just thought it added something to it. So this one is the Gelder Rose Flower Fairy. It was a free kit from, I think it was World of Crossstitch magazine, and I know it's a 16 count and it's done 1/1. I didn't follow the design 100% because by the time I got to the last section of it I just wanted to get it finished, so I just kind of filled it in anywhere really, but I think it ended up looking okay. And I kind of felt like the gold in this paper went well with it, so that's just a little, it just it's gonna just like sit on my display in that now. So that is my finish. Right, so I'm just gonna get a drink because it is actually early this morning when I'm filming this, so my voice isn't here yet. If you're in the UK, you will know that we've had some really hot weather the last few days. So I'm trying to get this done early before it gets too warm. So yeah, so right, I've got my window open as well, so you might hear some outside noises, but apologies about that, it's too warm. Right, so I'm going to try and roughly do these in my original start order, just because I find that easier to get them organised this way to show you. So there are a few that are digital patterns and I'll pop some information up just by here, and then if I've got a physical pattern I'll just show it on the camera. It just saves me a little bit of editing time later on. So this one is a long running whip as well. So this is I'm Friends With You. This is by Magic Needle, and it is a 14 count Ada mini kit, full kit. So that's what it will look like when it's done. And I did iron this and it still ended up being really folded back in, because I've not been working on it all that much. I'm not sure if I have a photo of where I was last time on it, so I'll just show you where I am this time and we'll go from there. So yeah, so I've done, I think since I showed this last, I've filled in, I think, the bunny shoes, and I think the bunny ears weren't there last time. And then I know I filled in some of this stuff here somewhere, and I think I had some spaces in the middle. I'm going to do it so I do the bear first and then come back to the what is it, snail. So that is where I am so far. Hope I'm showing this at the camera. Right, so that is that one. And then my next one is what I'm calling it Teatime Coaster. This is from a Crossstitcher magazine free gift. So I've previously done the custard cream and the party ring, and I'm working on the what is it, a jammy dodger. I haven't finished any of them because I wanted to make sure I finished all three. I think I might have them in here actually. Yeah. So that's the custard cream one, and that is the party ring one. Just pop them back away. And I know that last time I showed the jammy dodger one, I know that it only had the heart because I remember commenting on how pretty it looked just like that. So I've only worked on it just one day, and I've managed to just get some of the extra bits on. So obviously I've just got a hanging thread there because you can see where I was actually in the middle of doing it. That is on a 16 count, and that is a 1/1. I think there is actually in these, there's 3 different colours. It's not very easy to notice the difference, which again I think this is why it's been a whip for quite a while, because they're very, very similar and I get a bit confused sometimes if I'm trying to stitch at night. So yeah, so I think that's why it's been a whip for so long. But I would like to, especially the coaster, I would like to see if I could get that finished in the next few weeks, or definitely by the end of May, I would say, because it's such a small one and it'd be nice to do something with the 3 of them together. Okay, so my next one is what I call photo stitch, and I'll pop the information up there. And this one is a photo conversion that I did via Pick-to-Pat, and this is a photograph of me and my boyfriend, and I will pop up a picture of where I was last time on the screen now, and then this is where I am on it now. So I'll just put my back on this one just to help it. Okay, so you might not notice a lot of difference from last time, just because there is just now a lot of filling in the remaining pieces. So on this one I've now got 9,878 stitches, and that is out of 12,100, and it's currently at 81.64%. I think there is 9 or 10 colours remaining, so hopefully that won't take me too long, and again this could be one that's finished by the end of May. So I've been working on this one for, I want to say about September 23, I think it was I started it, so obviously it has been a little while. So yeah, so hopefully I can carry on working on that and get that one finished, because that's my first full coverage, so it would be nice to get that one done. Okay, so now I have a couple of big full coverage projects. So this one is my very first Haid. I've shown it before, so if you are a regular viewer, then you will have seen this before. So this one is Mini Flower Girl by Heaven and Earth Designs. So I will pop a picture up of where I was before. So this is just the top left hand corner, and I'm trying to work on the first page. So I have that's kind of roughly where the page ends, and I've just come over a little bit just to stop the page lines hopefully appearing, and then I'm just working down, and I think that's about halfway roughly of the first page. So yeah, so I've just been filling in the amount, and yeah, so that's just basically what I'm continuing to do on that one. It's just going to be making that a page finish, and that one is, yeah, I didn't say, did I? So that one is 4,275 stitches, and that is out of 105,625. There's a lot of numbers. And that currently is at 4.05%. So I'm going to try and hopefully get that to 5% and a page finish. So they're my two goals now with that one next. So it could be that the page finish gives me 5%, because that's normally how it works. So this is a really awkward one now to try and show. So this one is called Dragon and His Books. It's by Pink Lily Patterns on Etsy. And with this one, it is full coverage, but it doesn't go to the ends like the one I just shown. So what I did with this one to get it into the right place on the fabric, I started in the middle, and I kind of dotted up to the top, and that's where I've kind of mostly been working. But of course I have added a few. I've been trying to basically, as you can see, I park my threads, and every so often I kind of get bored of parking the threads, and I try to finish the ends off. So as you might remember last time, I had all of the threads, they were also coming down here. So what I've done is I've obviously worked them to the thread ends, got rid of a lot of that for the time being, and then you know, obviously by the time I filled this in, some of this will be kind of down here and everything. So obviously this is that's around about the middle, and then as you can probably tell, I've added some more into this area as well, so it's kind of gone up. So that is the very top of the design right there, and then I think it's just a few that come back down. So that's actually the dragon's eye, so I'm trying to not fill that in because I want to kind of wait until I'm further down. So yeah, so my system for this is kind of still roughly the same. It's basically continuing all of the top layer of it, and then obviously what I'm thinking I'm going to do, because so much of this is already filled in this one, like on this one page, I think what I'm going to do is when I've filled the top, I'm going to basically just 100% fill all this in, and then obviously just go kind of from there. So yeah, so that's really big compared to some of the others, just because it's I've done it a bit differently. So this is this, and it's had, so far it's now got 7,887 stitches out of 84,008, and it is currently at 9.39%. So I'm hoping for a 10% on that one soon. Okay, and then this next one is Angelic. So this is artwork by Eda Jose Rosa, and it's charted by Stitch Is So Beautiful. And this one it kind of gets continuous work, this one, more than the other full coverages, because I take part in the Facebook challenge that Stitch Is So Beautiful have, and what that is every week you stitch at least 250 stitches on one of their designs. You upload your progress to the page every week, and you basically every month you get a free pattern, and your name gets added to a prize draw as well. But I just find that it's quite a fun way to make sure that I continue working on it, because obviously this one is a really big one. It is 160,000 stitches, which is, for me, that's the biggest one. So I just want to make sure that I keep working on it, and obviously get more into the design. So this one is started from the top right hand corner, and I've managed to almost get a page finish. Basically the only thing that's not in the first page finish is there's a few colours by here, but the reason I left those is because they kind of go more into the following page down, so I just kind of thought, well, I'll come back to them. So I'm sort of saying I've done a page finish because it's almost. So that is that is what I've done on the pattern. So that is like the most of the flower, and then I did that thing where you on Pattern Keeper you can look to see what's the biggest amount of stitches, and obviously this one I think was 310. So what I decided to do, just because I was using the 310 and I thought, oh okay, I might as well kind of go all the way along. So I think that might be around about the middle point of the pattern. So that's just been filled in, just the odd ones with black. So I'm obviously gonna just keep you know, building up this and working across, but I just thought that was kind of fun because now if I get bored then I can kind of skip across to one of these sections and I've got a little bit of a starting point. So that one at the moment has 3,383 stitches out of the 160,000, and it is at 2.11%. So yeah, I actually got quite a lot of the stitches in on this because I can't remember which, I think I worked on it for a couple of days on a run, and I think it was like the second or third day I just kind of got really into it for some reason. But yeah, I mean we all do the same thing, but yeah, I just got really just into the stitching and I just kind of stitched the entire, you know, most of my free time on that day, so I got a lot of that filled in. So that's that. Oh, it's so warm today. Okay, right then, so this one is a stamped kit, and to be honest this is one I thought I would have had as a finish to share with you this time, but obviously it's not. So this is roughly what it looks like when it's done, and it's an 11 count, so it's done with 3 strands full cross. And what I did is I did the girl, and I did all of the extra flowers and the gooses and everything, and I left the background because, as you can see, everything now that is yellow will become this pale green. And as I said, because it was just that colour stitching that, I thought that I probably would have had that done. You know, I would have had this washed and ready to show, but it actually takes a lot longer than I was expecting, even though it's one colour and it's just blocks. So yeah, so that's as far as I've got with that so far. I mean, I think it definitely will be finished in the next few weeks because I, you know, just pick it up whenever really and just fill in a block or two. So yeah, so that's not quite finished, but that should be a finish soon. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that one yet because of the fact that it's a square, because I have another stamped one that I finished, which is the bird one, that if you're, you know, a regular viewer, you will have seen a few videos back. So yeah, so that one hasn't been fully finished either yet, so I'll have to come up with something that I can do with them, but that's where I am on that one. So this next one, I came across it in my whips about a week ago and started working on it, and I'm not too sure if this one was originally in, you know, my first videos. The reason being is it's from a magazine, it's from a Crossstitcher magazine, and it's one of those where I was using the the pattern that was on the other side of it basically, and this just happened to be what was left on the back, so it doesn't have the original image page, which is I think probably why I've not really shown it to you, because obviously I can't show the pattern. So the only image that I have for it, as you can see, that's the front, and then, you know, this would be the pattern. So so this is by, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that right, Tawny Cotton, that one there. So it's an even weave project by the look of it, and it has beads and things on it. So that's kind of the colour palette. It's pinks and purples, and obviously a lot of it is for even weave, so it is done you know, like the 1/1. But because of the, you know, the pattern being quite a nice sampler, I didn't really, yeah, see, that's kind of the colour palette that they recommend for this design. But because I didn't want to just throw away the pattern, I began, I just picked fabric, random colours, and I just started stitching it. And yeah, and then obviously I've done quite a lot. So I based the colours roughly on you know, the monochromatic pieces, which are usually black work, but I didn't want to do black. So, you know, I've seen ones that are red work, you sometimes get them in blue. So I basically picked, these are unbranded threads that I had in my collection, so I'm not sure what the colours would be in like DMC terms, but it's a mid-range blue, and it's kind of like a mahogany red, so it's just something different. So basically the most of the alphabet is kind of what the chart suggests, and then obviously I've had to get a little bit creative with the motifs. So what I've done for a lot of the motifs is, because they were obviously meant to be 1/1 on even weave, I've just done it so I've done half stitches, and then where these, like, they look more like arrows the way I've done them, or things at the bottom, this is part of the design, and then usually there would be this bit, and then it's like, it looks more like a box, but I didn't really feel like it had a lot of room for that, so I've just kind of made it an arrow. So yeah, I just have a few more symbols kind of like here to add in, and then that's done. So I really like the shopping baskets. I think they're really cute. So yeah, this has just been like a fun, I'll just open that up so you can see a bit better. So yeah, this has just been like a really fun little extra project that I've worked on every now and again. But yeah, I don't think that I've actually shown that before, so that's that I've also been working on. And then I have Tree Silhouette at Dusk, and this is by Artecy, and I will pop the information up. I've not worked on this very much, just because this is one, it's a 22 count Ada, and I'm doing it 2/1 tent stitch, and I can't really decide if I like the tent stitch or not. And it's hard to judge whether it's that or it's the Ada count, or whether it's just because I'm working with a lot of similar colours on this pattern. So it's one that's a little bit more slow going than my other full coverages. So that's the whole length of the chart. And I filled in, what have I done? So I filled in a little bit of this moon with that like peachy bit. I've done a little bit more of the tree, and then I think I've just added some more stitches like to come over this way. So roughly, where did I do it to? So I think it's roughly like a bit more moon, and I think this is kind of page 1 complete. Most of page 2 is obviously all of the moon, which is why it's not been done yet. So that's that one. So that is currently at 5,463 stitches out of 47,000. Obviously I'm only doing them as a half stitch, but Pattern Keeper makes it a whole number, so that makes me sound like I've done more. So the percentage on that one now is 11.62%. So I am going to keep working on it, but it's not a favourite, so I just pick that one up and do a few stitches each time. But I mean, it's because of it being tent stitch, it's much further along than some of the others, so I feel like that's probably still gonna you know, make good progress even with once a week or something coming out. Right then, so that brings me to my last project to share this time. So this one is a new start. It was a planned start anyway at some point, which I mentioned last time, and I took the opportunity to join a birthday sale in order to start this earlier, so now I have a start for May. So Charlie at Stitching with Charlie, it's her birthday in May, and she basically is doing a nature themed project, and she's invited anyone to join in with her in stitching something nature themed. So this one, as I said, it's one that I already had, and it was already kitted up ready at some point, so I just decided to start it for May. So this one is Mini Mount Cabin Home by Dominic Davison, and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and this, as with most of my projects, it's on 18 count on the easy count, and I'm doing it 2/1. So I've started in the top left hand corner. There is a lot of darker colours on the left hand side, and I was debating starting on the right hand side, but then I realised that if I did that I'd be left with all of the darker colours at the end. So I'm just doing my regular left to right because I feel like I'm more comfortable doing that. And I've only worked on this literally one day, so it's a very small little start, and that is 158 stitches out of 75,400, and it is currently at 0.21%. So that is that bit so far, and it's not really picking up on the camera, but that is a mixture of I think it has 2 browns, a grey, black and blue. When you kind of hold it up to the light you can see the different colours, which is, it does look quite nice. Obviously it just kind of looks like one big blob a little bit on camera. But it's a really nice scene. And you know, it has the mountains and it has the trees and the dog, and yeah, it's just, I'd like to go and sit in that, you know, cabin outside and just look over at all of that. It looks really nice. So it will be a really pretty design. And the good thing with that one, because with that I was debating originally between getting the mini and the large. Obviously, as you've noticed, apart from Angelic, which I think is just a regular full-size one, I've tended to go for smaller full coverages, as in with Heaven and Earth Designs, it's the minis. And with that one, I wasn't too sure based on the mock-up of the mini, because I wasn't sure if it would lose a lot of the detail and stuff. And luckily someone in the Facebook group actually completed the mini. And I saw that and it just looked so detailed and everything, so I was like, right, okay, I'm just going to stick with the mini. That is actually a plan for Heaven and Earth Designs for me, is to, I'm probably thinking that's going to be next year maybe. I do have a plan to get one of the full-size patterns. Obviously, as I said, most of my stitching is about the biggest I've been doing, apart from the tree one, which is 22 count. Most of my full coverages are 18 count. The dragon's on a 16 count, which I feel is fine, but obviously the bigger I go, the easier it is to stick with the 18 count. But yeah, so that is a plan of mine long term, that I want to start a full size or, you know, regular size for most people, Heaven and Earth designs, and try, I would probably say, a 25 count. I'm not too sure if I'd be able to go much higher than that, but at least I know a lot of people do their full coverages on 25 count 1/1, so I feel like that would probably be manageable for me. But I just obviously need to decide which design. I have a few that I really like, so yeah, that's something to think about for next year. So okay, so stitchy plans. So I have obviously a new start now. I am gonna try to not have a new start until my birthday start in August. I say try because we all know it's difficult to you know, not start all the things, but I do feel like that would be the next start. So yeah, so you obviously haven't seen all of my whips today. Quite disappointed I didn't get to work on the boho seaside view, just because I really do like that one, but it was a choice between that and the new start, and I decided to do the new start. So boho may come out today. So yeah, so I didn't work on that one. I have a few others that I obviously haven't worked on recently in the last few weeks, so I should probably get those back out. And then obviously the ones I've just shown today, I do have a few that I would like to finish. So I'm gonna not have a focus piece, anything like that. It's just kind of gonna be stitch on what I want, when I want, but try to kind of keep in mind which ones I need more, or I want more focus on, in order to get them complete during the month, so they'll get a little bit of extra time. So haul, do I have any haul? I've been good actually. I've not really bought. I did buy a pattern. I did buy a pattern in a sale, and I will pop it up on the screen. So this is a company called Sunflower Stitches, who I've not actually bought anything from before, so this is the first pattern I've purchased, and this is can't think of the title. I will pop it up on screen. I think it's something to do with nightfall or something. Anyway, so it is a it is inspired by the Court of Thorns and Roses, Akotar series by Sarah J. Maas, which is obviously a fantasy romantasy book series, and it's quite a few dark colours on this pattern, but it was on sale and it was one that I did want to get, so I thought I would get it while it was available, just in case you know, it got discontinued or anything like that. So yeah, so that one is a pattern. I'm not planning on starting that at the moment. I think I do have a piece of the 20 count Ada that I could start that on if I wanted to, but as I said, I'm not planning to start that one just yet. I have Mini Winter Reading Nook by Amy Stewart, Heaven and Earth Designs chart. I have that kitted up fully, so if I did want to make another full coverage start at any point, then I could add that, but as I said, I don't think I'm going to. So yeah, so that was my only bit of haul. I've spent a little bit of time doing some other hobbies over the last few weeks. so I've tried not to, you know, like overbuy or anything like that. And then yeah, general life updates. So still in the same situation with my broken ankle. I'm now on medication for vitamin D deficiency, so hopefully that will make some kind of difference when I get my next x-rays and can start getting back to a normal routine. As I said, it's been very warm weather. I did try to go for a little walk yesterday to my not local shop. I've had to spend literally since I broke my ankle, I've had to kind of, my daily outing or whatever is to my local shop, which is you know, a few houses down the road, so it's very, very close. So yeah, so yesterday with the sunshine, I decided I was going to go to my next shop along, so I went a little bit further. Obviously I had to stop and start a lot more, and I was very tired by the end of it, but I managed to get a slush puppy. You know, big news. I will pop a picture up. But yeah, you know, little things like that, they're big highlights of my day now, apart from stitching and everything. I mean, if you've had a you know, an injury of any kind and you've been kind of stuck, not being able to do a lot, you probably know what I mean. But yeah, I'm trying to, I have had a lot of down days. As I mentioned in my last video, I've had a lot of issues with my mental health, so that's it's still been kind of continuing, but I'm trying, you know, I'm trying to just slowly be a little bit more positive again, because it is tough and it is hard, and you know, it's difficult to be positive really when you've had a lot of, you know, negative things happen in a small period of time. But yeah, I'm trying to, you know, find nice things in the days. So yeah, so I had a slush puppy, which, you know, with the heat was very good to walk back home with. So yeah, that was my highlight yesterday. So yeah, so other than that, not a lot really. As I said, I've done some other crafts, which for me includes colouring books, and I'm never sure what to class it as, because it's classed as multiple things. So it's junk journaling, scrapbooking, creative journaling, all that kind of thing. Basically, you decorate and create using stickers and papers and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I've been doing things like that. I have some very, very old books, and I've been trying to get those organised in a little box and try and use my paper scraps and little things like that. So yeah, so I've been working on that, stitching, and that's kind of it really. So yeah, so that's everything. I get to the end of these videos and I always struggle to wrap them up in a really good way. Like, I watch other Flosstubers and they, you know, they just end the videos really good, and I'm just like, So anyway, so yeah, so that is on my stitching for the last few weeks. It will be a couple of weeks again when I do my next video. And before I do go, I want to just make a big shout out to everyone. So since I started this Flosstube channel, which is I think 2 months ago now, I have managed to get 485 subscribers, which is, you know, wow, that's great. That's yeah, that's more than I thought I would ever get. So I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who has subscribed, and all of the people who like and comment and come and follow me on my Instagram. That's a Crossstitch Instagram as well. It's just been really great to interact with you all and get to know people. So yeah, and as I mentioned, if you haven't already, then I really love it if you would subscribe to the channel, just to kind of make sure that the algorithms and all that kind of thing continue to work and I don't get lost out there. And you know, I'd love to be able to reach people and chat to everyone and things like that. So yeah, so I would love it if you would consider subscribing if you're not already. And yeah, just feel free to send, write a comment, and then you can send me a message on my Instagram if you wanted to have a chat, or if you're interested in stitching along or anything like that, then yeah, that would be great. And I will make sure that I do some shout outs next time. I was aiming to this time, and I have forgotten to write my shout out people down, and I don't want to have to stop and start the video and all that kind of stuff, so I will shout out a few people next time, hopefully. But yeah, as I mentioned, I did mention Stitching with Charlie, so she is a new Flosstuber, so I would recommend going and checking her out if you haven't already. But yeah, like I said, I will kind of try and shout out some new Flosstubes to me, and then hopefully they might be new Flosstubes to you as well. So okay, so if you're in the UK right now and you're having this hot weather, then stay hydrated and stay cool, and happy stitching to everybody, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you join me next time as well. So thank you everyone, bye, happy stitching.